Moving on to our environment, we as a society rely on the transportation sector for the movement of goods and people, but it is the largest contributor of global warming emissions in the country and our state, and a major source of harmful air pollution that contributes to serious public health issues. Black, Indigenous, people of color communities have been disproportionately affected by tailpipe pollutions from cars, trucks, and buses, and historic infrastructure choices, such as highway construction, have harmed many communities. What steps will you take to reduce emissions from transportation and ensure an equitable transportation system?
Yeah, I agree that our disadvantaged communities have taken the brunt of the impact over the years of transportation expansions, highways being built. And I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio, and there's just concrete everywhere. And you can easily see that most of those overpasses and highways run through historically black neighborhoods in that part of the country. So I think that we really need to look at environmental impact as a health concern. I believe in global warming. I believe that climate change is driven by fossil fuel burning that humans have been doing here since the industrial age. And I think fossil fuels are still going to be part of the equation for us, probably for the next generation or two. So oil and gas production in Colorado needs to go on, but it needs to go on safely. And we demand that of every other business. We need to demand that of our oil and gas as well. I consider myself to be a progressive on this issue, and I think we need to move toward a future without burning carbon fuel. But it's more than carbon. I think we get stuck on that sometimes. If you just stand at a gas station with everybody's engines running, there's a lot of nasty stuff coming out of those tailpipes. So there's just a lot of things that we're breathing every day, and there's only so much atmosphere out there for us. And I've lived in parts of the world where they don't care about keeping the environment clean, and it really does wear you down just physically. That people are just trying to get through their days and fight every other health issue that's out there, with a lot of times with bad food and bad water and bad air, should not be something that we worry about. We've made so much progress in this country in just the time that I can remember. I remember my dad and I changing oil in his old Volkswagen and literally dumping the used oil down the sewer. And it was just common back then. We would burn trash in the backyard. There were plenty of houses with lead paint. We don't want to go back to those days. Nobody does. But I think we hesitate, and there's a section of the public that always pushes back on those changes that are meant to make our environment healthier. And I understand that it's expensive, and I don't certainly want to bankrupt anybody by laying on environmental standards that are just unattainable or that are just way too soon because the technology hasn't matured yet. But there's really good, mature technology right now that we should be taking advantage of and incorporating when we can.